Good afternoon, everybody. You're watching or listening to the Designated Pundits. Today, we're breaking down MLS Week 11 matches. We have best bets, and I think 10 of the 15 matches this week, and we're going to get down to what we think give you the most advantage over the sportsbook. Stay right there, and we'll get into it. I'm Bob, he's Scott. We are the Designated Pundits, and today we are breaking down some of the best bets we found around a sports book near you. We have 10 games, 10 of the 15 games we have official plays in. Me, Scott, or Alex, who's not with us tonight. And this is our rebound game, man. We have not had good time with these midweek matches. Wednesday, not good. Last week, I went 0 for 6, the first time in my professional career as a handicapper, having 0 wins on the professional sports card. But we're in for a bounce back. And I have to say, a lot of the plays I have, I love this week, Scott. But they're not either what I usually take or not plays that jump off the sports book at you, but I think we got a really good advantage on what we have this week. Scott, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling medium confidence. I'll be honest, medium confidence. And you know what it is? It's because I have had other weeks where I felt the way that you feel. I was like, I feel really confident. I feel like I'm seeing things really clearly. And then of course, unpredictability, and it didn't go my way. And so this week I'm a little more measured. I still think that I still think there's some smart things in here. I think the reasoning, the logic is going to be sound. And we'll just see if the players can execute my vision.
We have multiple plays that go against each other for one of the first times this season. That's always going to be interesting. In unpredictability, it's up in Major League Soccer. It's up over the first 10 weeks of the season. And I think that there's not a lot of teams that are overperforming in bettable ways. Like once a team goes on a little run, the sportsbook catches up and man, they are spot on. Might have something to do with them taking away our advanced analytics this week. You got to dig a little deeper than you did last year. Maybe that is something to do with it, but we're going to find out. Let's get into some soccer. The first match we have to talk about is Toronto FC hosting the San Jose Earthquakes. Toronto, they're 3-4-3, while the Quakes have 9 wins and a loss this season. This is a 1 o'clock matinee match. Toronto, they are heavy home underdogs. The San Jose Earthquakes, just the laughingstock of the league just a few months ago, plus 110 on the road. Toronto, they're plus 210. In this one, we all have official plays, and they kind of go against each other. Scott, tell me what you're feeling for this match.
My first feeling was you have to make a pro San Jose play. They're very hot. And the thing is, it seems to be repeatable. Some teams you see go on a hot streak and you're like, I know this will come crashing down. They're not good enough for this. San Jose is. Their system is. They have the right mix of players. They are not a one-trick pony in so many ways. Look, Timo Werner's been on a tear, but they've also done it without it. They can do. So my first thought is you got to make a pro San Jose play. Then I started looking at Toronto and I was like, what are they going to bring to this game? And Toronto at home, what they bring to that game is, well, goals, actually. The average home game for Toronto is like a 2-2 draw. So I looked at that and I did kind of think, you know what? San Jose's hot win streak has to come to an end sometime. A draw is a really probable way for a good team like that to stop the winning. So I took a San Jose double chance and I needed to pair it with something to put it in a reasonable number. So I took an over of 2.5. And that's really based off of the fact that Toronto home games tend to be in that direction. Goals scored, goals conceded. Now, that goes a little bit against, not just a little bit, that does go heavily against what you're seeing in this game.
Yeah, I don't see that at all. So I do agree San Jose's kind of been clicking on all cylinders, and we've seen them win games. We've seen them blow teams out. We've seen them with the high score lines. We've seen that. We know what to expect. However, I'm going to go and tell you that I don't think that that's the likeliest case for this match. And it does have something to do with Timo Werner. He went down this past week. I'm not expecting him to go. He is listed currently as week to week. Now, that's not an official designation, but it's enough for me. Timo has 4 goals and 5 assists over the last 3 matches. Only 457 minutes of San Jose's 10 matches, he's responsible for 9 of their 25 goals. By the numbers, that brings the Quakes in Werner's absence down about 36% on offensive production, brings them closer to Red Bull or Galaxy in terms of offense. Now, let me be clear, TFC, they're kind of a mess, but they could be getting like Zimmerman back this week, which helps them on defense a little bit. And San Jose, as good as their offense is, it's really the defense which has carried them so far this season. So I'm taking San Jose under a goal and a half at -108. I think we're still getting a fantastic price there. Any like positive, plus money on away teams to score under goals, the average bet on this is like -245, -250. So San Jose is just being valued too high as an offense. They are the visiting team. I don't think they want to go there and get into a shootout. I think that this is going to be a little cagier than we think. There's a lot of moving parts here, and a lot of this is going to depend on what Toronto has to do on their side of the ball. But I don't think San Jose scoring 2 is a foregone conclusion in this one. -108 is a good price for me. Alex, as the tiebreaker, he's taking San Jose and over a goal and a half. So Scott and Alex have plays that I can't win on. I have a play that they can't win on. Looks like we're kind of a hung jury on this one. Let us know what you think about San Jose. Again, in a bubble. Toronto, much better. This is San Jose, much better team. But being that they're on the road, they're traveling West Coast all the way to the East Coast. They're missing their best player. I think that's just enough of a kick. Maybe they score 1 and don't find the back of the net a second time. Moving on now, Sporting KC, they host the Seattle Sounders. Again, we kind of have picks that don't really align, Scott. In this one, we're seeing Sporting KC 1 win, 1 draw, 7 losses, but they are on a statistically improbable bad streak. Like if they go at the current form of goals conceded, it'll be a record. Goals scored, a record in the wrong way. One of the lowest records that they've ever had. Seattle Sounders, they are hurt. They haven't been 100%. They're missing players each and every week, and it seems not to matter. 6-1-1 for them on the short season. Sporting KC plus 340 for the home team, and Seattle Sounders -150. This feels more like one of those midweek Open Cup games. Like Sporting KC, they're not a professional club, right?
No, they're kind of USL level right now. Maybe even a little lower than that. They probably are not winning USL. Look, man, they are in rough territory. At home, they have conceded 10 goals in 4 games. They're conceding over 2 goals a game. And look, yeah, you're right. Seattle has had a lot of injury rotation this year. They're well coached. I think an interesting thing is that they've had players, and Albert Rusnak is the one that springs to mind, who have been in and out of the lineup through that injury. He's kind of out. He comes in, plays really well for like a game, and then goes back out onto the injury report. Kind of a funny cycle for them. But I like Seattle in this game, obviously because SKC is so bad, but also because Seattle has been good on the road. They have 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in 5 road games. They have only conceded 2 goals. They've only scored 4, but I'm not that concerned about that because if Sporting KC gives up 1 goal, they're very capable of giving up 5. And I think that's where my play comes from, and I think that's kind of where your play comes from.
Yeah.
For me, I think if Seattle gets started, and I don't see any reason they shouldn't get started, then I think Seattle is going to go off and score a bunch. And Sporting KC, I think they don't have to contribute. I think Seattle could cover my over all by themselves. I went with over 3.5 goals That puts it at a plus 150, by the way. I think Seattle can cover that all by themselves. But I think Kansas City might also participate if the game starts to get really open and stretched. Seattle's not immune to giving up goals. They just don't do it very often. But I could see a 4-0 scoreline in this. Easy.
I could, and that's exactly what I'm hoping for. My official play is both teams to score no. Not going to happen. Seattle, they've conceded only 4 times this season, and Sporting KC is only has seen a huge number, 25 goals against, but combined, they've only scored 19 goals in 17 matches. Seattle's seeing one of the lowest totals of any team in Major League Soccer right now. They're doing well, but they can't really afford to get in these shootouts with the players on their roster currently. And Sporting KC, yeah, they're conceding a ton, but they're home here. Maybe they have a little bit of advantage. Seattle traveling to the West. Now, I went back to look at historical data and saw that SKC has 2 goals in each of their last 2 matches against the Sounders. However, those 4 goals that they scored against the Sounders include 2 penalties and an own goal. And the 4th was scored by Mason Toye. Funny, if you wonder where he was, he's 3rd division in Germany right now. I don't think that Seattle's giving up 2 penalties to Sporting KC in this one. I don't think one of these teams find the board. I wouldn't actually be shocked by a 0-0 play, something like that. But this is absolutely hoping Sporting KC is the team that doesn't find the back of the net. But just for odds sake here, I do have, the official on both teams to score no, and I'm getting a plus 128. My chance of that happening is 48.87%, so just under half the time, and that's giving us a 5.01% advantage on the sports book. So this is also a numbers play. Both teams to score no at plus 128 and over 3.5 goals. 2 official plays. They can both land, but Seattle's going to need to get up early and often in this one.
Yeah. The one thing I should add, Christian Roldan is questionable for this game. That could impact Seattle in the midfield. Look, Kansas City's midfield is nothing to write home about, so probably won't be the end of the road for them. But Christian Roldan has been an outstanding MLS defensive midfielder in that double pivot for Seattle. So that could expose the defense maybe a little bit, but I really don't think so.
Agreed. Moving on now, Inter Miami hosts Orlando City. Alex has the only official play here, but it's an interesting play, so we're still going to talk about it. Miami 5-4-1, and I think 3 of those draws were all their last home games. They have not won at New Stadium yet. Beating a rival in Orlando City would be a great time to do it, especially since this is like a weird one. Orlando's new stadium is Inter & Co Field, and Miami's new stadium is New Stadium. Only in MLS do you find that. Inter Miami, they're minus 425. That's a little disrespectful. Orlando's bad, but that's a huge number for a team that hasn't won at home yet. Orlando, they are plus 700. Over under 2.5 goals, minus 370 to go over. That is completely unbettable. And Miami scoring twice, minus 480 if you like them to go over 1.5 goals. Alex's official play here is Miami wins and both teams score at plus 110. I'm really feeling that. Are you feeling that?
Yeah, it's tough. I think there's a very real chance that Miami shuts out Orlando, but I think Alex is seeing kind of a recent trend in Orlando City. Orlando City has discovered their shooting boots, and they have scored goals. They put up 4 on Charlotte. They put up 2 in a loss to DC, but 2 goals is still 2 goals. They got into a shootout on Wednesday in the Open Cup. They have suddenly figured out a little bit of goal scoring. And yeah, it could happen. They are capable of really good attacking soccer. At the same time, if Miami just gets up on these guys, that could just kill their spirits, and they could easily just decide not to score a goal in this game.
Miami has 2 shutouts this season. One is against Charlotte. Do you know who the other is?
Yeah, I was there. It's against RSL. RSL played really badly in that game. They probably should have scored. Miami's defense is nothing to write home about. It's for me, it's more the mentality of that Orlando team. Are they
Absolutely.
mentally strong enough to keep playing through? They did score 2 in the reverse fixture at home.
6 goals total in this one. Alex just looking for Miami win and over 110. Miami would they would have loved to have won their first 3 home games, but doing it against Orlando could be something special for them this weekend. Now, Atlanta United hosts CF Montreal in a game no one wants me to talk about, but I'm going to because I have one official play in this match. Atlanta 2 wins, Montreal 3 wins. It is too late in the season to have totals like that. Atlanta, however, minus 105, Montreal plus 250. When I see minus 105 plus 250, you know what goes through my head? Sportsbooks haven't adjusted. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like the let's throw it out in MLS, minus 105 plus 250 plus 270 on the draw. Those are kind of the numbers you get. If no one has an edge, if no one has a lead, if no one really knows what's going on. And I don't really blame them because not a lot of money's going to come in on this game. Not a lot is going to, it's blah.
Yeah. And if you look at what these teams have been this season, I don't blame you for thinking, I don't know who these teams are other than not very good. Atlanta has 1 win in their last 5. Montreal's on a 2-game win streak. That's cool. They beat NYCFC at home, and they beat the Red Bulls at home. The Red Bulls account for 2 of their 3 wins.
Yeah, great. I know. Look, this game, it doesn't matter that this game is going to have a whole lot of eyes. Montreal is, you're right, 2 straight home wins, both against New York teams. This week, I think they beat a team that isn't named New York. Again, this is a little bit kind of on the numbers. Plus 250 is a little disrespectful. Atlanta has done nothing to be minus 105 at home, by the way, especially if Almiron has a chance at not going again this week. Montreal, they're bad. Are they going to be competitive in Atlanta bad? Yeah, I think they can be competitive there. And I'm taking the draw no bet at plus 174. Like, I didn't want to add the draw because then I'm at minus money. No one wants it minus money on CF Montreal. But plus 174, those are hopeless odds. And I don't think Montreal is going to be hopeless in this. Atlanta, they are Atlanta. Like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, do you see where I'm coming from on this one?
I do see where you're coming from on this one. Atlanta could easily be up, late in this game and then just give it away.
Their attendance is down. People aren't caring about Atlanta. That home field advantage is evaporated.
Yeah, they don't have home field advantage. They have 1 win at home. I think I see where your head's at, and it's not a play that I would make, but I don't think I could tell you not to do it.
I'm hurting. I'm bleeding units here. I need some plus money play. Someone here, Samuel, says, let's go Montreal. Yeah, let's go. I'm probably not going to bet on them a whole lot this season, but I will this week. Montreal, draw no bet. I need that insurance. I'm not just taking them to win. I'm not crazy. Well,
no, yeah, you need that. And that's the thing, though. If Atlanta's leading late and Montreal scores an equalizer and that's how the game ends, you get your money back.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's fine. And I'm okay losing this. I'm okay getting the information because I know the sportsbook's wrong. I know numbers when I see them. And I know that these odds just aren't. It's like, copy an EPL team with a similar record. What odds do we give them? Shoot it out, print it. I'll take advantage of that when I can. Next up, the New England Revolution host Charlotte FC. This is an interesting one. Revolution, they're playing really well right now. 5 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. Charlotte, 4 wins, 2 draw, 4 losses. These are 2 teams that love playing at home. Always a heavy advantage towards the home team. The Revolution in this one, plus 115, while Charlotte is plus 200. Over under 2.5 goals, minus 132. That actually implies a smaller total than I would have expected. Both teams are plus money if you like either one to score over a time and a half. I have one play that I really love, but another one that I'm actually going to make. Scott, let me know what you think about this match.
It's like you said, it's a really interesting matchup. The New England Revolution, in a lot of ways, I don't consider the New England Revolution to be an incredible team this year, but at home, they are a perfect 4-0-0. They have scored 12 goals and they have conceded just twice, just two goals in 4 games. On the road, obviously, much worse, but this game isn't on the road; it's at home. I would tend to favor New England in that sense. Charlotte, on the road, not that great. 1-1-3. They've conceded 13 goals in 5 games, scored 6. So you kind of expect them to get something, but you'd expect New England to win the game. The thing is New England's defense at home somehow has been so stingy. I just, off the top of my head, I don't know who they played, and
The Bruce
that's the
Arena
big one.
effect. I'll tell you who they played because it was in my article on Hooligan Soccer this week. Columbus, DC, Montreal, Cincinnati. 2 okay teams that were bad when they played them, and 2 bad teams that are going to be bad the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this home field advantage for the Revs is yet to be tested. However, we do know that they saw a total of 14 goals in their 4 home matches, and they saw both teams score 2 of the 4 times. Charlotte's the best offense they faced by far, and I think they get tested and concede this week. My official play, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at -106. I think that this, so I did the math, and we're getting a 5.49% advantage on the sportsbook's implied probability. Charlotte, they have really similar home splits to the Revolution. They've seen both teams to score in 4 of 5 matches on the road this season, and in each of their last 3 games. Their last away match they failed to score was March 1st. That's a big amount of time. They've played a total of 19 goals in the 5 matches since then. This one points towards goals. Both teams playing midweek. I think we could see a shootout. And -106 on a rather low odds, low risk play. New England is a low risk team this season. Go figure. I like it. -106. One official play on Revolution versus Charlotte. Headed now, Philadelphia. They host Nashville SC. This would have been a good game last season. It's not this season. 1 win, 2 draws, 7 losses for the Union, while Nashville is 7-1-1. This one is going to be a little interesting because they did have Nashville has some midweek matches. Who are they playing now? Is it Tigres?
Tigres, yep.
So
that's actually why I swerved this game. I was looking at this one pretty heavily, and one of the things I noticed is that they did lose 0-1 against Tigres at home this midweek, and they have been one of the teams that is more proactive about rotating their squad while they've been playing in the Champions Cup. And they did heavy rotations. And early on, they rested their entire offense, minus Madrigal, who's 12 years old and can play every game, any day.
I like it. Now, Nashville SC, they've had an electric start to 2026, but you're right. I think it's time that they just about reach slump territory. Sam Surridge, he's week to week with a back injury. He left that game very early against Tigres. Oh, sorry, no. He did not play at all against Tigres. It was Edvard Tagseth who got injured and left versus Tigres. 2 of the best players on the field aren't even going to be available for this match for Nashville. And I think that affects what's going on here. And while the Philadelphia, they've seen higher total matches, overall, they've actually seen a mixed bag of results. They've played to the under of 2.5 goals in half of their home matches. And in the last 5 games, they've had only 1 game, a 0-0 draw against DC United. So at -118, my model shows a big advantage on the implied probability of hitting an under here. The under is -118, and that's the official play. I think this game is going to be cagey. I think Philadelphia isn't good enough because Nashville still has defense. They're not going to rotate defenders as much as they are attackers. Philly hasn't really done a lot on the ball that makes me worried about them. And Nashville, I think they would be ecstatic to get a 0-0 draw, pack it in, and, put their heart into CONCACAF in the midweek. Do you see that as a possibility?
Yeah, I really do. You're absolutely right. They're not going to do wholesale rotation of the defense. The defense will probably play as a unit as it has, and it's a very good defense. It's a very good defensive unit. In their last games, they conceded no goals. They conceded 1 goal. They conceded 2 goals. They conceded no goals. They conceded no goals. They conceded 1 goal. They conceded no goals. Right? Like there's a trend here. They don't concede a lot of goals, and if they rotate the offense very heavily, which is something that they have done previously, then yeah, they're going to keep it. They're going to keep it tight. They're going to keep it cagey, and this game is not. They're going to really not allow this game to get out of hand, and it's going to be on Philadelphia to do something that Philadelphia has not really been able to do this season.
Loving it. Obviously there's still Hani Mukhtar. Warren Madrigal's been really good this season, so maybe he runs it up the field. This Nashville team is still very talented. I'm not taking Philadelphia on the win. I just think it's a 1-0, 2-0 game. Under 2.5 goals is -118, and that's the official play. Headed now, the Chicago Fire, they host FC Cincinnati. Cincinnati off to some struggles early this season. 3 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. Must be disappointed at where they are, and must be disappointed that on the road, they're plus 310. Huge road underdogs. Chicago Fire -145 for the win. This is one that we likely see goals. The over-under of 2.5 goals. -145 for the higher total. Plus 186 if you like this one to go under 2.5 goals. Scott, you have the official play. Let's talk about it.
Really simply, I see goals in this game. It's Cincy's defense is not great. They concede 2.3 goals per game right now. Chicago is not necessarily running up the score at home, but they're a 2-goal a game, team. I don't think that Chicago is necessarily gonna blank Cincy, and so that's where I see this game getting into 2-1 territory, 2-2 territory, 3-1 territory. I don't think this game explodes for 9, but I think this game gets to 4. And so I took an over of 3.5. That pushes it to plus 110. For a Cincy team that still has some offensive talent, can still get a goal, and whose defense is leaky. And Chicago's offense, I know they're not always running up the score, but I mean, they did against Kansas City, but Chicago put up 3-3 against Cincy in Cincy 2 weeks ago. They, they only put up 1 on Atlanta, but I don't know. That offensive unit's in good form. Hugo Kuipers looks really good right now.
Yeah, I also like goals. My thing would just be kind of Cincinnati. This is a stay away for me just because I think Chicago in general is high risk, and FC Cincinnati, this team this season is extreme risk. I'm a bunch of units down, man. I got to make that money back. So I can't tell you on this, but I do like the over 3.5 at plus 110. A really nice way to bet on this match. And let's see some goals. This is an unexpectedly good match. Last season, we would have said, okay, Cincinnati, let's go. Well, this season we have a competition, and I think that we're going to see some goals.
I certainly hope so. The average Cincinnati away game, 5 games played, 2 draws, 3 losses, 8 goals scored, 16 conceded. So 3-1 is kind of the average game there, and that would hit.
Seeing a prop from Foxy for a dinky goal. Okay, you could definitely talk me into that.
I'll take that.
Especially with Barroso out, Sam Rogers questionable for this one. Mm-hmm. I dig it. Funny enough, the next 2 plays we have are both player props. First one I'm going to take, this is San Diego FC versus LAFC. 2 official plays, myself and Alex in this one. Let's first look at the odds. Plus 165 for San Diego, plus 140 for LAFC. Yuck. Over under 2.5 goals, minus 188 for the over. So they're the sportsbook is there's goals in this, and LAFC is going to have an advantage. Like, there's not really other possibilities being considered. Scott, this is a tricky one with LAFC's busy schedule.
It is a tricky one. And I said on Monday that I would swerve this game because San Diego's been really bad. And they are losing games they probably shouldn't lose, and they're tying games that they should probably win. And the team doesn't seem very focused right now. They've had discipline issues all over the field. Um, their keeper against Portland is just rushing out and making weird sweeper keeper challenges 50 yards from goal. Yeah, you should probably bet against San Diego, but LAFC at the same time, Son Heung-min doesn't have a goal in MLS play, right? Denny Bouanga is doing okay, but not Denny Bouanga okay. He's just okay by regular people standards. The offense has failed to really click. Has really not taken off the way that we thought they would after they demolished Miami in the opener. And so for me, I was like, look, I could see LAFC coming in here being the much better team and losing this game in a way that doesn't make any sort of sense. So I swerved it.
I saw an interview with Mark Dos Santos where he was losing his mind about having to play this game and then, travel. Where is he going? To Toluca next week. They're up 2-1, so it's looking good for them. But I said in my head, he is yelling on a microphone that he's going to sub his squad. And that's good for me because I picked a player, goal, or assist. And that player, 20-year-old winger David Martinez. I think he's been in a really influential role this season. He has 4 goals this season, including the only goal last week in Minnesota with a heavily rotated squad. San Diego, they're missing Luca Bombino, which means left back is going to be like Ian Pilcher, pretty much a non-factor this season. I think that a player like David Martinez in a match like this, he is meant to score. Plus 200 to score, minus 110 for a goal or assist. I'm betting both of those. The official play is going to be the goal or assist at minus 110. You can bet out of my own pocket. You will be seeing some David Martinez goal bets. You may even see if I like a good number on him to score twice. He is electric. He's fast. Yeah. He's going to take, full advantage of a positional mismatch. And I think he has a really good chance of finding the net.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think that he has really taken a step forward this season, which is a really good thing to see. He's a very exciting young player. And it's that youth that allows him to continue to play. I think that Mark Dos Santos did scream into the microphone that he was going to rotate his team. I don't think that he's necessarily looking to just throw this game away and tank this game. But if David Martinez gets on the field, he is going to take it seriously because he's a player in good form. I like that goal or assist, just hedging your bets there because he could easily just lay it off and set somebody up, but he likes a goal. So if you wanted to go with just the goal prop, I would feel good about that one too.
Alex, he's going to take LAFC to win plus 140, and he's on a hot streak. So who are we to argue with him? Foxy says Martinez was my breakout pick of the season. Yeah, absolutely. He has all the talent in the world. Wasn't able to put it together last season. Was a little clumsy on the ball. LAFC fans were kind of running out of patience, but I'm like, just watch. He's been a really nice addition, and his upside is through the roof. So he's the kind of player that a team like LAFC can take the chance on. He's not for everyone. He wouldn't be good on a middling squad, but on a team that can really support him, put him out in some good moments, and give him valuable play time. I like what he has, and I think he's a development.
He is. The game is slowing down for him. You can see his decision-making is getting better. And I think a lot of that is he doesn't look as rushed as he did before. When you think about what he looked like, even in the playoffs at the end of last season, he was botching opportunities that should have been simple. And it was because everything was moving too quickly for him. That's not the case this year. Things have slowed down for him. his brain is able to kind of keep up and process the game as it is. And that is a natural part of player development. And you see the talent coming through more consistently now. It's a good thing to see, though.
Loving it. Let's move on to the last match. And this is one that Scott has a player prop in. I wonder what it's going to be. Is it the same player prop you've played 10 times already this season? LA Galaxy, they host the Vancouver Whitecaps. LA 3-3-4, Vancouver 8-0-1. The odds here are slanted towards the Whitecaps plus 105. The rule was Vancouver at plus money. You bet on Vancouver. We're not kind of doing that completely this time. I think that this match has some moving parts we're not really seeing too clearly right now. But minus 220 for over 2.5 goals. That means we get some opportunities for some strikers.
Yeah. And that's what I see. The Galaxy have given up opportunities to opposition strikers. The defense isn't that amazing, really. They've only conceded 16 goals all season, so they're kind of stingy, but they give up a lot of other chances. And if you actually look at their XG conceded, like it's pretty low, but they've conceded a lot more goals than that. It's like 11 expected goals conceded, but 16 actual goals conceded. So they're underperforming that metric. And I think a big chunk of that is that the defense gives away kind of high quality chances. And I expect Vancouver to take advantage of that. I think Brian White is going to get a bunch of them. And I think he's going to score. I thought about taking Brian White with like 3+ shots on goal, because that was like plus 200 something. But that was just a little out of reach. Three is kind of a lot for that metric. So I think he's more like he's going to be pushing 2 or 3. And one of those is going to go in.
Love it. Brian White loves his high opportunity, high XG shots. I mean, he would rather walk the ball into the back of the net than shoot it, I feel sometimes. So I like that play against the LA Galaxy. Why not? One official play, Brian White, plus 130.
I think Alex slipped to Vancouver to win in there at plus 105. Generally, I support that, but Vancouver, I think, is starting their Cascadia Cup, or no, not Cascadia, their Canadian Cup. We found it eventually.
I do. I see it in the doc now. Yeah, Vancouver plus 105. Will they need to put a full effort in?
Probably
midweek.
not.
No.
Yeah, but this does just feel like a game that could be a little stumbling block for the Whitecaps. They could end up with a little draw here or something like that. So, but plus 105 for a team that is much better. So
yeah, and
not a bad shot.
Look, Vancouver, they've had a long home stretch. We've seen a lot of home games, and they've looked better at home. Here they go on the road. The team is being sold. The team is most likely being sold out of Vancouver. I think there's just enough weirdness around this team. Maybe it's a low confidence play. Maybe it's, there's just enough weird. And if anyone likes weird this season, it's LA Galaxy. I don't want to bet on a winner for that game, but Alex will. He is the hotter handicapper right now, so who am I? Plus 105. Here are our official plays for the week. Scott, what's your favorite play?
Ooh, my favorite one. This is a tough one. I think it's going to be the Brian White goal at plus 130. I think he is the right player to take advantage of the right weaknesses in the LA Galaxy defense.
I'm going to go both teams score in over 2.5 in the Revolution Charlotte play. I like Charlotte to score twice. I actually teased that. I said I have 2 plays and I'm betting one and not betting the other. The other bet was Charlotte to score twice. I could see this being a shootout. Revolution, they're good. They're better, but they haven't really beat anyone at home. This is the best game they have. They've conceded at home. I don't think there's a chance Charlotte gets shut out in this one. So I think that is my best play of the week. Gentlemen, week 11 is in the book. Good luck and have a great week. Bye.